Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Kyle Wright 425 podcast. I am your host, Kyle Wright, and as always, I am joined by my older brother, Eric. And tonight, we're going to be talking about some crazy, messed up facts about serial killers. But before we get to that point, before we get to there, we want to let you guys know that you can follow us on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button and also by hitting that notification bell. That way you get an email and you get to know whenever we upload a new video. Not just podcasts, but also now the scary stories, and then some maybe random videos that will pop up throughout the week. So make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss them. As well as follow us on Spotify. That way, if you can't watch us, you can ultimately listen to us while you know, mow the yard or do the dishes or, whatever. You have no excuse to not listen to us. So with that being said, listen to what we have to say about the messed up facts of serial killers. Well, actually, to quote it, it says the most fucked up things.
Really?
It actually says that. It's because it is from Reddit. It says, it was on a site that featured
my community.
Yes. It featured.
We're all fucked up.
It's okay. We love you. Am
I still recording?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We had an issue with the recording before this.
It didn't hit record.
I love pronouncing things wrong. Now, this says the 50 facts about serial killers that are insanely fucked up.
Okay.
So, and it says by January Nelson, updated September 3rd, 2019, and these chilling facts about serial killers can be found on Ask Reddit. So
here's my thing. They just said the fucked up things about serial killers.
Yes.
Well, it's already fucked up that they're a serial killer.
It is. But
I don't care if they politely smothered them in their sleep.
That's still bad.
No, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, something to where you're just like, oh, just go to sleep. Like, it's still fucked up that you're a serial killer. I don't care what you say. So the fact that the list is just read the damn list.
Wow. We're like less than 2 minutes into this. And
46 fucks.
If I say fuck 2 more times, it's 46 fucks in this fucked up rhyme. Hey, your song. Everybody knows this song. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We got it.
I remember the first time I heard that song when I was, I think I legit was 9 years old. It turned my world upside down. I didn't realize that you could, do that. So we were in such a strict home at that point. I was just like, he has said the F word like 4 times already.
I listened to some of the most, Anyways, speaking of, LA Beast is on behind us.
Yes, he is. Mr. Kevin.
Yes.
The LA Beast. And he is, we've said it before, but he is one of the good guys of YouTube. Mm-hmm. He is just a genuine dude, and he puts his body through absolute hell to make his videos. So we wanted to make sure we represented him. So.
Absolutely. Like, he is one of those, I say this in the sincerest way, a good meathead. Like, he's a big dude.
Yeah,
he's a big dude. And you got to eat big to be big like that. But you're right. He's a very genuine dude. So
yeah,
it's weird that we're talking about fucked up serial killer facts and this genuine. Have a good day.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he just did it.
Yeah, which by the way, LA Beast, if you ever do happen to catch our content, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
It's because do what?
Maybe he'll watch it.
No, because I've watched the LA Beast for significantly longer than you have, but your interest and love for the LA Beast has surpassed mine. So it's kind of weird how that's worked. So genuinely, dude, we love your content. We sit down here and just howl at your videos, dude. We love your content. It's fantastic.
It is. It's great. So I hope you continue. So anyways,
now I'm curious. Killers. So I wanted to find a good way to start this off, and the way that I wanted to go about it is, what was a serial killer that has stuck out to you? Because let's be real here. People love
John Wayne Gacey.
Wow, you didn't even let me do the intro. I mean, you know exactly what you want. Why John Wayne Gacey?
Because he was a fucking clown.
That's the only reason, huh?
No,
it's not. Okay.
No, it was just the fact of one, he was a clown, and two, I'm sure it's a trend with all serial killers, but he was a nice guy. The way that he portrayed his serial killer alter ego was creepy as shit. And he's smart. He's smart. Probably him or Jack the Ripper.
Ooh, going old school.
So like honestly, like Jack the Ripper was just brutal.
See, this is what's so interesting to me is that kind of what birthed this for me to do this as an episode was two things. One was my morning routine every morning is I get up, I get my coffee, and I come down here and I turn on Deep Fat Fried and I drink my coffee and I just 9 times out of 10, Piper will sit on my shoulder. And we'll watch it together. That's become the thing in the morning.
Right.
The past couple of days, I've been finishing their episode on serial killers.
Okay.
And they did the top 10 serial killers of all time or whatever it was. And then they basically figure out their top 10 while they're doing it. And they type out everything and it's all on the screen. And you can see them fighting over like what needs to be won. And it's hilarious.
Oh, man. How do we do that?
Live stream, OBS, and a lot of gear. So
fucking buy it.
Well, all right. Well, yeah, I'll sell my
Make
testicle.
us money so we can do that.
Yes, I'll sell a testicle and a kidney, and we'll make it happen. So I'm literally going to donate myself to make sure that this program is going. Please become a patron. So, by the way, that's a very good segue to Patreon. If you're not a patron yet, if you wanted to support us, go ahead and head over to Patreon. There's 2 tiers, $1 and $5. And if you don't want to do that, if you're off put by that, don't worry. Just watch us. That's all we ask. So, but if you want to support the show,
14 times,
right?
Every episode.
What did Chris Porter say when he was like, "Hey man," he's like, "My special Ugly and Angry is on Netflix. If you could just turn it on and hit mute in the background, that'd be wonderful."
That'd be great.
Because oh god, I watched that special hundreds of
Hilarious,
times. It is anyway. We're gonna get on a Chris Porter rant. I don't want to do that, but what was I talking about before that?
Deep Fat Fried fighting serial killers top 10.
Yes. So basically, I thought about it and I was like, well, I'm like, I don't want to steal what they did. I'm like, I want to do something different. So we're just going to do some facts. This is 50 facts. We don't have to go through all of them, but it's just going to be of some serial killers that we know and some of them that we don't know, and we get to learn some stuff. So this is all. And the other thing too is that in their episode of serial killers, the one actually, now that I remember, the reason why I had to finish the top 10 list the next day was because they did a section on one of their other episodes about Jeffrey Dahmer, who is actually, I believe, from Ohio, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So
my ex went to school. His dad was a substitute teacher for said school for like 8 months or 6 months because the one teacher was on leave for like she was having a baby or something. And Ashley said that the principal like came running into the classroom first period of the day and was like, "You will call him Mr. D." That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you do not refer to him
as Mr.
Like,
Dahmer.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Which can I just say something is that is so unfortunate that last name Dahmer now is only going to be associated with Jeffrey Dahmer, because it's like that. It's to me like that's kind of a cool name. Like it's it's a cool sounding name, but it just happened to be attached to a guy that killed a lot of people. Like it's really unfortunate.
You hear any other Hitlers?
Like, yeah, true. Yeah, yeah.
I mean Adolf. Sorry,
Adolf.
Adolf.
Yeah.
You don't hear any Adolfs.
But no, that's always kind of like what has made me like whenever somebody talks about like Ted Bundy or they talk about like John Wayne Gacey, the Rippers, like all that stuff, John the Ripper Jack the Ripper.
Jack.
It's just you get. There's a stigma that's now up immediately with it, where it's like anybody else that has, the same, like, God forbid somebody has the same name as like a serial killer that, it was done before they ever went off the rails, it's always perplexed me. And it's really interesting whenever you watch videos of Jeffrey Dahmer, because you're absolutely right. He is a very well-mannered, well-spoken, and from what it seems like,
wait, Jeffrey Dahmer or John Wayne Gacy?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay,
is it because it's that idea of that? What I'm saying is that.
Oh, you meant where I was like they're all nice.
Yeah. Even the Iceman. For anybody that doesn't know about the Iceman, he was a big deal when I was in middle school, like high school. He has since died. Either that, or I can't remember if he died in prison or if he died.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, right. Oh, he died in prison. He's on the island. Shh.
We'll get to that episode soon enough.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we're gonna get. All you gotta do is just look on Facebook, and then you'll see everything. So,
well, subscribe to the motherfucking channels, plural, and you'll know.
Technically, you only have to subscribe to one.
Hey.
But we appreciate two. So they're both the same content. One you just get to see and one's audio, which is why you should subscribe to both, because
he doesn't know how to fucking do this.
I'm just too much of an awesome night, or too much of an awesome. I'm too much of a awfully like nice dude.
Whoa, so, Mr. Big Shot. I'm just kidding. All right.
No, but it's so interesting to me to see the way that even in his interview in prison, he like when they were asking him, like, what went through your mind while you were doing this? Why were you so obsessed with dead things? Like, why did you, want to do that, do these certain things? And when you hear him respond, I do not condone anything he did. Let me be very clear. Mm-hmm. But there's a part of me, like, with how he is saying it, it's normal to him.
Right.
And it's like, I never came to a point that I agreed with anything that he did, but it's like, dude, like, he just did it. Like, it's like that. This was like getting, his coffee in the morning for him. This was his normal daily or like weekly or however, like often he did it, his routine. And it's just so nuts, man. Like it's, in every sense of the word,
It floors me that they try to like pinpoint what makes somebody like a serial killer or like, whatever. But honestly, I believe some people are just evil. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
We've talked about, like, I've, again, I'm not going to veer off, but like I've been borderline to that point, not like that, but a serial killer. But I don't think that there's any type of, I've seen people and know of people that have been sexually abused, verbally abused, mentally abused, physically abused, or all of the above. They're not fucking serial killers. Well, at least not that I know of.
Well, well, I mean, it's kind of like that moment of, like where the dad looks at his son who's, getting arrested, where it's like, my dad never hugged me. He didn't see me fucking complain. It's like, no, it's just, yeah. It's everybody reacts differently to whatever situation or whatever's happening around them.
I just always find it funny that they try to find this like similarity, or like, oh, they didn't have a dad, or they didn't do this, or they grew up in a Catholic home. Like, you give a fuck about that, dude. They just did it because this is what they wanted to do. Like you said, it was a fucking Tuesday to them.
Here's what's really interesting, and I was trying to avoid this because I didn't want to stick to the same conversation that Paul, TJ, and Scotty had, but this is a really good point that I think that we can make a brief statement on, is that when they were studying Dahmer, and they were talking about just like, the idea of the true reason as to what made him bad. Like, it's like, it's that idea of that, are people born bad, or are there people, it's like, is that a real thing, or like, are people made into that?
Right.
They went into the actual history, and there is a book that's written by Jeffrey Dahmer's dad that he goes into and talks about like what it was like to raise him, like what it was like to, find out that your son has been doing this, and like, like, could you have noticed, the things, like from when he was a kid,
right?
From the beginning, even during the pregnancy, they described, the dad described his wife, ultimately Jeffrey's mom, as someone who was just, like, she had the worst pregnancy. It was horrible.
Really?
Like, she was just, I don't want this to come out anyway. Like, I mean, no disrespect with what I'm saying, but it's like, sometimes pregnancy can affect women psychologically.
Yeah.
It does happen. And that's, now, number one, you are carrying a human life inside of you. Your body is changing. It is getting destroyed by what is happening. You have to heal, like all that stuff. So like, I get it. Like I'm no disrespect on that aspect. However, even after she gave birth, it was still bad.
Yeah,
and that's
a telltale sign.
it's dude. It is like like even like just as her. Like after the fact, like it was crazy. Like, and so obviously Jeffrey had, he loved playing with bones. He loved finding dead animals. He loved
See, that's what they say is always like the first signs is like dead animals, killing animals, like,
which was actually a really good choice for the Rob Zombie film that I really enjoyed when they found like the dead cat in his book bag, and then they found the Polaroids of all the animals that he had killed. And it was ridiculous. Like it's like they really, Rob, as we've said before, gives a shit, and it was just like he wanted to have a real telltale, like psychological reason as to what could it like be a sign as to why Michael went over the edge,
right? Right, so to do something, right? Exactly. And it's just that's what I'm saying. That's what bothers me is that they always try to find something, and it's just like, dude, no, I believe that these people just do this because they want to do it.
Yeah, some people are born bad. Some people are, some people change by their situation. Sometimes there's like a flip that snaps. Like a lot of that is from. Sorry, Thor. I didn't mean to snap. Thor was sleeping next to Eric. For anybody that's listening on Spotify, and he just was like, "Oh God, what was that noise?" But no, it's just you wonder like what is it that can make somebody snap? Like and then there's this idea of like what the Joker talks about, where he's like. He says, it only takes, how does he say it? Oh, it's everybody is one bad day at work away from becoming me. That's scary. Like that is like, if your day, like if you ever just had one really bad day,
oh, bro,
and it's like, what if you didn't come out the other side the same because of that day, and like that's kind of like, that's where my mindset is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start reading some of these facts.
So start off with number one. Now, some of these serial killers we are not going to know.
Right.
But even
like the main 7.
Right. There's 7 of them?
I don't fucking know.
They can tell that. Ace Ventura reference. If you haven't seen When Nature Calls, you should. Okay. So this says 50 facts about serial killers that are insanely fucked up. By January Nelson, updated September 3rd, 2019. These chilling facts about serial killers can be found on Ask Reddit. Number 1. Pee Wee Gaskins. Most prolific serial killer in South Carolina drove around in a hearse with a bumper sticker that read, "I haul dead people." He told the people that he needed it to take the bodies of people he killed to his private cemetery. He claimed to have killed between 100 and 110 people. So this guy drove around with a hearse that had a bumper sticker that says, "I haul dead people," and probably as a joke was like, yeah, like or everybody thought it was. Yeah. It's like if you like think about the people that you've met in your life that have made jokes like that, and you're like, do you? That's a fair question.
I swear that I read something one time that they say that you come across like 2 or 3 serial killers in your life. Like you whether or not
I know for a fact I have.
Whether or not you engage with them, but you cross a path with a serial killer like 2 to 3 times in your life.
Here's what's really interesting. It's the fact that
that's fucked up.
Well,
maybe it's me. No, I'm just kidding.
Could be me too.
Please
you never know.
Don't take that seriously.
God, yeah, no, please. There's this thing called a sense of humor we have.
I just start killing Thor.
No. So what was really, really kind of eye opening for me was that Corpse Husband, who's just another one of my favorite YouTubers. He reads off true scary stories that his fans send into him. And there was a story in particular about a woman that had given a ride to a hitchhiker. And
I remember that.
They were talking to each other. They were having a good time, and he was, explaining where he needed to go, why he needed to get there and everything. And it was probably like, a decent drive that they went on, that night. And he got dropped off. He thanked her, he was so thankful that, she took the time to drive him out there and everything, and said something to the effect of nobody has really just actually talked to me before. Just thank you. This was a very, very pleasant conversation. Just I've not had this in a while. Thank you. Months later, I don't know whether or not he found out where she lived or like however the situation went, but he sent her a letter. And what there's a fly in here. Basically what it came down to was that he once again thanked her for driving him and wanted to be very clear that she was so nice to him and was so just upfront and just a good person that was the reason why he didn't kill her. He was hitchhiking to kill.
I thought that was the one where it was something about asked them to get out of the vehicle and they said no.
No, there's a bunch of hitchhiker stories that he's done before. This one was nothing happened in it, but it was that idea of that he basically, as a serial killer, as somebody who had he meant her harm.
Yeah, he was almost like Dexter, where she didn't fit the criteria.
He basically said
she may have been blonde and skinny, but she wasn't a bitch or like whatever it is.
Right. Whatever stereotype that he would have gone off of, which is such a dumb way to choose people to kill, is to try to find a stereotype. But
I kind of agree with Dexter. Sorry.
Well, no, Dexter is a whole new breed of serial killer. He's awesome.
That honestly is a serial killer.
Sorry.
I know. I've been watching, dude.
Anybody that's listening on Spotify behind us, if you're into eating challenges and watching videos that like you either have to suffer through or that you're like, oh my God, like how is he going to do this? The LA Beast is currently doing the Nasal Napalm challenge right now, and he put horseradish in between Twinkies, and he's currently trying that out. So anyway,
we're talking like a slather, people.
It's almost like
Hearies.
It's like a horseradish, almost like layer burger kind of in between. Anyway, so so what was so interesting was that this guy that said thank you and said like this is why I didn't kill you. He then said, because he cared about her, he said, please be more careful when you go, like when you're driving. Please be more careful when, like, he's like, you don't understand. He said, I literally got into your car to end your life. And and he's like, but I couldn't.
See, and that's where like somebody like this guy, with the whole I haul dead people, like you said, it's a joke. What's funny is she probably read that and was like, haha, okay, weird.
Well, but as far as the perspective of the story, she took it very seriously, and and I believe that I feel like it had to come up was that she was actually kind of freaked out because he
knew where she lived.
Yeah, but the thing is that she said she's like, I don't know what was more strange to me was the fact that I was comforted by the fact that he knew where I lived and it wouldn't bother me, or the fact that he knew where I lived in case if he changed his mind. It's like
see that, and that's the thing though, is that even at that, I honestly, if I got a letter from a serial killer and was like, look, bruh, I didn't slit your throat because you had banging ass weed, or I don't know, whatever fucking was.
Yeah.
It just would be one of those, you obviously know where I'm at, but I wouldn't be afraid because of that right there.
Yeah.
They had freely admitted I was about to fucking kill you.
And I didn't. Yeah.
So like I said, I clearly don't fit the criteria. Because they always have something that there's the reason why.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. And that's where I think that they try to like associate something in that person's life prior. And there probably is. I'm just saying for them to always try to figure out like why John Wayne Gacey and Ted Bundy, like what's the connection? Well, because they're fucking crazy.
See, and this is what's really interesting is that I have ran into people that, or have met or have been associated with, or even been friends with that. And this is not done in any way for me to be like, oh, like, hey, like I'm, this awesome person or whatever. Like I'm my worst critic. So let me just be clear about that.
Right.
But there are people that I have talked to that, don't understand why they like me. And they're like, dude, like I can talk to you, man. Like, and it's like, they're like, I don't like anybody but I like you. And they're like, and that kind of pisses me off. It's like, why do I like this person?
They can't those type of people they're like me. I can read somebody right now.
Yeah.
I can figure you out in about 35 seconds most of the time. When I can't figure out, I don't mean angle as far as like, what are you going to do? But like your angle, that irritates me. Very few people do that to me. I had one specific boss that like I couldn't, and it fucked me up because I could never tell like which way, you know what I mean? So sorry, I'm being vague, but like I can't say too much.
Well, no, but don't feel like you got to explain that.
Just in case, but that's what irritates me. I've had several friends in my life. No, sorry, I don't mean several friends, but a couple friends in my life that were the same way, where I couldn't figure it out. It took me, like I eventually did, but it took me a minute, and that sketched me out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I get that when you have somebody that you're like, oh man, like why do I like? It's weird that I like you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I usually don't or shouldn't, you know, and it's like I do.
Do you know who is one of the big ones for me? I don't mean that I couldn't figure out, but that I shouldn't have been friends with. Two people that I shouldn't have been friends with that I feel like you know I needed to be.
No,
Brad.
Okay, yeah. Which we've talked about Brad on the we've talked about Brad on the podcast before. So yeah.
And Eric Canfield.
Eric. Yeah.
He is not my genre.
No, Eric is a long-haired rock star. Just like
he looks like one of the mass shooters at a school, and I don't mean that. I'm saying that is. Oh my God. Trench coat mafia motherfucker. Like, no.
Oh my God.
I'm saying that
because never in my life heard anybody say that.
He looks like a school. He does. He looks like a fucking school shooter. Tell me he doesn't.
Sheeter? You just said shooter.
Shooter, whatever. Shooter.
How's that Pepsi?
Yeah.
No.
It's mixed with Yukon. It's great. Like
the thing is not the school shooter thing, but I get what you're saying.
Yes,
like, that should not have worked out.
He fits that look, that profile, and just because I'm some like quote white gangster fucking rapper that occasionally likes my rock and stuff, me and him vibe very well.
Yeah.
He is a complete opposite, but that's the thing, man, is that like I couldn't figure him out, and it was like, why do I like this dude? So yeah, sorry, I kind of veered off.
No, you're good, man. So let's move on to number 2.
48 to go. No, I'm just kidding.
It's going to be a long stream. And by stream, I mean upload because we don't stream. Now, number 2. When police eventually came to the house of Ed Gein, they found an absolute pigsty. Gein had been living alone since the death of his brother in a barn fire. It's speculated that Gein may have killed him and had let much of the house go into disrepair. They found countless body parts from his various grave digging excursions, including a bag of, this is going to get intense, but so if you don't want to hear mature stuff, get out of here now. 3, 2, 1. All right. Here we go. The bag included, the grave digging excursions included a bag of wilted vaginas, and of course the infamous skin lampshade and half-finished woman suit made of human skin. Mm-hmm. There were maggots living in old dishes in the kitchen. It was the type of disorganized mess that you would expect from a man who spent his nights completely disconnected from reality. Mm-hmm. All except one room. His mother's room upstairs remained pristine, except for dust that had collected and seemingly untouched from the time of her death years earlier. He had such a fear or respect for his mother that he was afraid to set foot in her room long after she died. Mm. He claimed to hear her voice criticizing him from time to time, This was the central experience that inspired Norman Bates' character to maintain his mother's home image in Psycho. Also, a fun fact about Gein. In Taxi Driver, I'm assuming the show or the movie, I can't remember which one it is, but Travis Bickle makes an offhand comment when leaving a diner that he had a cup of coffee and a slice of apple pie with cheese on top. In exchange for details to investigators after his capture, Gein requested the same meal. That was that was something he really enjoyed, was apple pie with a melted cheese slice on the top.
Mom does that.
Mom does that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was her. And she always ate a banana wrapped around it.
I completely get that. That is actually delicious, and it makes me want to try it with Munster and provolone because we have that upstairs right now.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't know if I can do that, but maybe we'll see after these Pepsis. But no. With that being said, that is. I remember our old neighbor Tom talking about.
Yes.
Ed. And
he was in prison with that. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anybody that's listening or watching right now that I know this and that this is going to happen,
I'm almost 100% positive. We can actually, I'll bet you we can get a hold of somebody that was his girlfriend. I'm almost positive
that's a
real thing.
I promise you, I did not choose this to talk about that.
No,
that's crazy. I forgot about that.
How do you forget that? He was too. I was young. I swear he said it was him and a guy that fucked a duck. That was it. I'm serious, and they would quack. They would quack at him when they would go through. But it was his cell, the duck fucker, and then Ed. And I'm telling you, because it's been a while, but that's who separated him between the cells. And that Ed just kind of like sat all day like this.
Oh yeah, he would do the rocking thing. Yeah,
and that he was the last one to go to meal and the first one to leave.
Now, do me a favor. Go ahead and explain a little bit about Tom. I'm going to actually take a leak real quick. Just explain a little bit about Tom.
Oh, what was that before the show started?
Oh,
no, go pee, motherfucker.
I didn't have that much Pepsi, so
go pee.
Now I have. So yeah.
No, Tom was a neighbor of ours, and his girlfriend at the time, BJ, great people. They were, sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. It's not habit. I feel like I'm still talking to Kyle. But we ended up finding out some things about Tom that, once he was established as our neighbor for a little while, and, we got to know him, like I said, but he opened up a little bit. Both of them did. And Tom, I'm pretty sure we've talked about him before, but Tom fit the typical, description of like a biker, if you will. Pretty beefy boy, not like, like grotesquely obese, but just a big boy. Had the nice long beard, the bald head, had a big Harley, smoked cigars, just really fit the profile. Sorry, I'm trying to do a lot of filler here, but like, so yes, again, biker looking, and he was such a sweet guy. I can quit looking at the camera. I felt awkward looking at the camera and I kept looking this way. But no, he was a sweet guy and
did not look it. Did not. No, he Tom looked mean.
He had resting dick face.
Yes, but the thing is that he, in fact, was not. Like he is
huge teddy bear.
He was just a lovable guy.
We will not discuss the things that he was locked up for unless he gives us the permission.
Yeah, no, we're not. We won't touch that on 10-foot pole.
He was in prison for a long time, and he always said
I will say that it is in fact for something he did not do.
Correct.
That's as much as we'll disclose.
He was associated.
He was associated, but he did not. He did not do.
Yes, correct.
So
correct.
Tom's story is something that if he is comfortable with us sharing that was actually an inspiration for an old short film that I wanted to make. So yeah.
But anyways, so just that being said, great guy, but he would joke, about it because obviously he was out and lived a great life. He turned himself around. And he would talk about that, and then he would tell the stories. And he even told me like why he started smoking cigars, like that was a self-defense thing because burning and like all this stuff. So anyways,
in fact, he actually was the main reason why they switched to styrofoam trays.
Yeah,
because it was kind of that mentality
shit out of this dude.
It was kind of that mentality of that if it's either you get fucked with your first day of prison or you fuck with someone your first day of prison. That way nobody fucks with you.
Somebody wanted his cake and he said, fuck you.
And from what I understand, grabbed that metal tray
and busted his face all the way.
Nobody fucked with Tom after that. Like, it was just like,
I forget how long he went to the hole for, but he told me.
Yeah.
And he always said it was for, and even how long he was locked up, he's like, I was for blah, 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 years, months, and days.
26 years, 15 months, 4 days, 3 hours, 6 minutes, 22 milliseconds, but who's counting?
Who's counting, right. But, so yes, so he was locked up with him, and he always stated that Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a great film, films, but a lot of Hollywood. That there was, and that's why he always enjoyed the fact that it said based on true events, not a true story.
Yes, that's how you know that a film is embellishing a little bit.
So he said, I always took it for what it was worth. They were great films, but that's not what Leatherface was like.
No, well, and the thing is too is that especially like when you see like pictures of Ed Gein and everything, like he didn't wear their skin the way that it's portrayed. Now, a lot of what is consistent in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, some of the details were in fact real, but
the cannibalism,
there's a lot to it.
He used a chainsaw to dismember them.
Right. And there was a lot of it that got embellished.
So anyways, all right, so let's go. Sorry, that was
you're about to be really, really happy.
Oh God, John Wayne Gacey or the Ripper.
John Wayne Gacey.
Okay.
Number 3.
Fucking clown.
In the John Wayne Gacey case, there are so many bodies crammed underneath the house that the bodies melted together and the bones had to be sorted for more than 2 years to put together the full skeletons.
I remember reading that.
Dude, that's messed up.
I'm pretty sure they were in his walls too.
John Wayne Gacey to me is, when I think of Rob Zombie's, like the idea of like 3 from hell, like Gacey was from hell. Like that's how I just view him. And I know that's,
you ever seen his makeup?
Yeah, that is, especially now there are 2 films I know that have been made about John Wayne Gacey. I'm sure that there's more, but the one that sticks out to me is, do you remember watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Yeah, he's the one that plays Gacey in the movie.
Yes, his
Francis,
the big thank you, that's his name.
Francis.
Yeah, right. He's busy taking his bath, or whatever it was. Yeah. He's like a 35-year-old man playing in this pool with these
Your father did a great Pee-wee impression. In general.
Yeah, I can't do it, but
even his voice.
Yeah, it's, oh my God, it's beautiful. No, I remember just seeing the poster or like the front cover of, I think it was just called Gacey. And the way that it was, like the way he looked, he was super sweaty and like he like
point,
that. Yes. Yeah.
Right here. It was almost like a weird mustache. And that's how that dude looked like the real John Wayne Gacey.
Yeah.
In real life.
Well, it's
like that flipped me out. I watched it once.
From what I understand, what his last words were, "Kiss my ass."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like dude, like that's a guy that's going to hell. Honest, like dude, like he didn't give a shit. Like that is
all of his neighbors were like, we would have never known. Like Mr. Gacey was like the town. Like it's always like that, man.
Yeah,
always.
That would literally be like finding out that one of our old neighbors, like Brenda, on the original street that we used to live on and stuff, that finding out that she had like 800 bodies in her basement or something. Like that'd
be like finding out Aunt Heidi is a fucking serial killer.
If Aunt Heidi is a serial killer, I just want to thank her for never taking it out on me, because I've pissed her off a lot in my life.
Yeah, what is she like when she's mean? Maybe she is. No, I'm just kidding.
No, John Wayne Gacy is definitely up there. He's one of those guys that, like in the repertoire, if you will, of serial killers, he's one of those guys where it's just like, dude, like there was just something just very wrong with him.
For sure.
Like just on so many different levels. But number 4. It's kind of like Robin Williams being like, secondly, or thirdly, for those keeping track. Number 4. The Hillside Stranglers picked up a young woman to murder. Then they discovered that her father was Peter Lorre, a legendary Hollywood character actor. They let her go because they feared that killing a celebrity's daughter would bring too much attention down.
Wow.
They were rational enough to understand that they could have gotten caught because then they couldn't kill anymore. That's right. That's insane.
But then they got caught because they let the bitch go. Either way, then nope. That sounds. I was just gonna say either way, just kill her. Then do what you're gonna do because you're gonna get caught either way. I'll never tell. I'm telling everybody.
Yeah, right. Now, it's anybody that gets caught and they say that they won't tell anyone. You know for a fact that they are. Like it's like what
fucking telling because when I tell, you're not gonna get me.
Unless if they're actually being honest. But it's kind of like Mitch Hedberg, where it's like they either loved us or they hated us or they thought we were okay.
Yeah, they thought we were okay. Yeah.
So okay, number 5. We're gonna talk about Dahmer. So number 5. Jeffrey Dahmer. Towards the end, right before he got caught, he had so many bodies in his apartment that he ran out of room and stored one victim in his bathtub. Mm-hmm. He proceeded to shower over him every day for a month.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Think about that. Straddling over a rotten corpse to get fresh and clean for your day. Unreal. That's literally what this says in the top 10 or top 50 facts. Think about that. It was a Tuesday to him. It was his everyday routine for him. He would stand over this guy that was slowly decaying, hitting rigor mortis, and was fused to the shape that he was in the bottom of his bathtub for him to take a shower.
Yeah, for him
to go to work.
Yeah, to go to work. Right.
This is where my mind goes, is that it's like, do you ever think Dahmer ever was at home and was just like, is he starting to smell?
Yeah.
How can you not think that? If you're trying to keep it a secret, wouldn't you try to be sure that there's no way in hell you would get caught?
See, to me, I feel like people like that are so dangerous because they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Does it smell? Probably. What the fuck's your neighbor going to do? Sorry, dude, it's my trash. Oh, man, I cooked steak and didn't cut that's where it becomes one of those when you become that okay with death, body, and smell that you are standing over a corpse.
I mean, because he probably could have done anything, or done everything to conceal the smell into the bathroom. But when you're standing over the source, man, that is.
Even at that, that's what I mean is that he didn't give a fuck and did it for 30 days. That is somebody right there that has nothing left. To me, they've got nothing left to lose. You've got to know you're going to get caught.
I think that
more
people should be put through what Dexter does, what Dexter's dad did in the show when he was just like, you get caught, this is what's going to happen to you.
Yep.
And it's that I'm now, number one, don't murder to begin with, but it's
if you're going to murder,
you should at least
do it
know
to the right people.
It's you should know and understand where it's there are consequences for this. It's if you are not prepared to pay those consequences, then it's
shit's real.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man, is so with people that, just going back to it, people like that's what makes them so dangerous.
Yeah.
Is that, do you think somebody like Dahmer, now granted, I'm pretty sure he got swarmed with it, but you think somebody like Dahmer gives a fuck if 2 police officers knock on his door? Oh, Mr. Dahmer, we're gonna. Oh, sure you are. Let me kill you too. He doesn't care.
See, that's a lot like, the mentality of the woman that hit her husband in the head with, like, I think it was like the lamb leg or whatever that she had that she was cooking. It was like there was a piece of meat that she had that was frozen. It was, I'm pretty sure it was lamb. And she busted her husband's head open and killed him. And when the cops came to investigate him, she was cooking the meat and she offered it to them to be able to eat. They ate the evidence and had no idea. She was so fucking confident she did. She was just like, no, she's like, I'm just making some food. She's like, I have no idea where my husband's at. She had already cleaned everything up. Yep. She had already dude, like that is a whole new level of confidence. And it's like, or that whole, like you said, like, that whole idea of, they just didn't give a shit. Like this, they just did not care.
Right.
And that's what's very dangerous. When you lose the ability to care about what happens to you and other people.
That's when you become dangerous to everybody.
Yes. It's including yourself. It's just, oh man, it's nuts. But continuing along though, number 6, the Golden State Killer, known at the time as the East Area Rapist, would often break into the homes of couples, making the woman tie up the man. He would stack dishes on the back of the man and threaten that if he heard the dishes fall, he would kill everyone in the house. Holy shit. Then he would rape the woman repeatedly and ransack the house for hours. At a community meeting about the rapist, a macho man stood up and went on a rant about how a real man would never let such a thing happen to him or his wife. The rapist proceeded to attack that man and his wife soon after, meaning he was attending the community meeting about himself.
Yep.
Dude, this is...
Did he kill him, or did that fucking buff dude whoop his ass?
Doesn't say.
I'm going to look that up because I want to know.
Here's
clearly he got caught at some point.
Well, right. So, I mean, that could have been the time that,
right.
Or, whatever. But this is... When you look at, like, for instance, like horror films, or you look at like let's just stick with film just for a second, like The Green Mile,
yeah,
which was not a horror film. That's why I switched it and was like, just films in general, because I didn't want to equate that, because it's, even though it's a Stephen King film, it's not a horror film.
You're right.
So I think it's Wild Bill who's the main protagonist of the film. It's Sam Rockwell. Mm-hmm. His whole thing was that when he was going to rape and kill the two little girls.
If you make a noise, I'm killing her. And if you make a noise, I'm killing her.
Right.
That's that control.
When serial killers get that methodical, that's terrifying. Like, think about that. It's like that, like, of all the men that he was killing or was holding captive while they were raping their wife, do you think for 1 second that I would not try to find a way out to fucking stop him? Like, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's like, I'm tied up, but the thing is too, is that it's like, I'm going to find a way to get these dishes off the back of my, back or whatever, and then come take care of the situation. Right. It's like, but to be thrown in that situation where it's like, it's that tensity of that. It's like, I need to be quiet.
I'm going to figure out a way to dislocate my thumb in the slowest manner. I go, fuck, how bad it hurts.
Yeah. I'm saving my wife.
I'm getting out of there.
Even if he's 5 minutes in, he's not making it to 6. Right. It's like I'm saving my wife, and I'm saving, like, getting everything taken care of. Like, that's like a saw trap. That for you to get that methodical and then think about how you can mentally and physically and sexually torture somebody all in the same hand. That is horrible. That is horrible. Like, that, to me, that is actually probably one of the most evil things I think I've ever read. Period.
That is
mature content, by the way. I'll put a warning at the title, but yeah. So
we're not going to get into this tonight. But no, that's not the most evil thing I've ever read when it comes to shit like that. And
right. Now that you say that, okay, yeah, that reminds me. Yeah.
But on that, on this note, maybe, but. When you think of something like that, like you just said, you're not making it to 6, obviously no matter where you're at in time, but
right.
To me, I almost think, okay, it sounds sick, but I'm gonna watch you. You know what? I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna stare at your face and I'm gonna study it.
You're gonna Ellie him
for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna leave. And then in 2 weeks, whatever it is, like, I'll fucking find you. I know that every man says that, but like, no, if that's the way it was and that's what he did, you know what? Go ahead, do your thing. That way, I can figure you out.
See, and this is where
I'll take that loss. Let you fuck my wife. For the, you know what I mean? Like
if it's between you raping her or killing her,
right?
But honestly,
right.
they're
what I mean.
They're both horrible.
But
and I don't want to.
She's still alive at the end of the day, after being raped.
Right.
I'm gonna go kill this dude now, and you're just gonna have to come visit me in prison.
Right, and that to me that is if you are that messed up to even conceive that idea, to put somebody in that situation to then have to deal with that. You are a piece of shit. That is like, because some people could look at that situation of like us talking in that moment of just like, dude, it's like you're plotting how to kill somebody. It's like, okay, cool. What if it was your spouse? What's add another layer to this? What if it was a wife that was put into that situation and a husband was being put into a situation like that?
See, it's like that's even something
that is the rage that would take over me would be a whole different thing. And it's like it's that abuse on another human being's psyche, the fact that a serial killer is able to even go there and wants to like to go that far to basically have whatever woman that he wanted and to know that everybody in the situation will comply.
Right.
That is so dangerous.
Power.
So with that, I'm happy that he got caught. That's at least so that's
fuck that guy next.
Yes,
literally. I hope they fucked him in prison
with a big ass cactus. Just
yeah, dude.
Not one of those small cactus, like the big, like piney ones. You know what I'm saying? So like the extra pine. No, but number 7. I don't know how to say this guy's name, so I'm probably gonna butcher it. But it says Durango Vargas killed and ate at least 10 people. He only ate men because he said their meat tasted better than women's. He also wouldn't eat fat people because he thought they contained too much cholesterol. That's horrible.
Well, here's the thing is that oddly enough, men and non-fat men probably honestly do taste the best. Yeah. We're like a free-range chicken.
That is true. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it.
We're on the menu apparently. So yeah.
Right. Like
put that.
What?
The controller.
Right here.
Thank you. I think we're on an ad or something. We're not on the LA Beats anymore. I just wanted to change that real quick.
Oh no! It went to something else, man. I've been watching. This is fucking awesome. The best of the best. Season 2 of Tacos.
All right, fine. Food Insider. We'll keep it. See, we're talking about eating people, so why not? So I guess it's fitting. So
bacon. No, so no
human bacon.
So no, I do get it.
Number 8. In the 70s, there was a serial killer who was known for raping and killing women. He went on a dating show, and the woman ended up choosing him, but luckily she canceled the date just before. You can find a video on YouTube. It's really creepy.
Yes, I've seen that.
I have not. That's the first time I've ever been around.
We'll watch it.
Been around that.
All right. Let's. How about this? Let's go. What number are we on?
We are on number. So we just left number 8. So about to go on to number 9.
So we'll do the top 10, and then let's do this.
Do like 5 honorable mentions or something, or do like
I was gonna say, or do like after 10, do like 15, 20, 25, 30, 30 you know what I mean? Like hit the 5s.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds good. All right.
Skip it around.
So there's going to be a page turn here. So let's go ahead and just prep ourselves because I'll be fucked if I'm going to get interrupted while I'm reading. So,
jeez.
I take this shit seriously. I want to be sure my flowing is consistent, which means I'm probably going to fuck it up. So number 9, John Norman Collins used to pick up women on his motorcycle. The bodies of his victims, the women, used to be dumped here and there, but they were always washed. Turns out he only killed women who were on their period.
Oh.
Also,
they were washed.
Right. Also, he referred to. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Also, he was referred to as John Norman Collins during his trial. He later changed his name to Chapman because there was a lawyer in town whose name was John Collins, and this was a way to distinguish between them.
Okay.
So that's extremely methodical. Like it's like I'm only going to kill women during their once a month time. So it's like
fuck do you figure that out
for real? Like there's been times that it's like there's been times like Chrissy has been in the middle of something and I'm like oh my I had no fucking idea. Like it's like how can you tell? Like how do you know? Like
even
if I am her significant other. And I cannot tell when that's happening sometimes. How is a guy that wants to kill somebody?
That's what I mean. Like even with like the technology now, like
it's
how the fuck did he? Yeah, that's weird as fuck. How did that? He was committed to his craft
for real. That's I mean, all of them are, but damn,
yeah.
Oh wow, number 10, Dahmer's back. It said that he didn't eat people with tattoos because he said the ink made the flay. My God, because he said the ink made the flesh taste weird.
That's probably true because sweet dude, I'm never getting eaten. But I remember, I swear it was Uncle Steve told me that because he worked out quite a bit, like when he was like in his 20s and 30s. Mm-hmm. And he always stated that apparently getting tattoos weakens the muscles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if, say, your dominant arm is your right, but you have a tattoo on your right arm and you lift, that like you could run the chance of like your left arm being bigger than your right type thing almost. I swear that's how he explained it. It like damages your muscles to a point. Which I don't know how true that is, but that's weird. That
I think it would probably depend on the severity of the ink. Like it's
probably
because even like your the one that you have right there on underneath of your sleeve, like there is shading, but like I've seen way darker shadings on like some
oh yeah, that's
on,
right,
different sleeves and also like having a fucking sleeve all the way around. So. We're actually going to go to number 16 next because I did read this one because I was like, whoa, I'm like, is this really what I'm saying? This kind of rolls everything up in the first line. And then the rest of it is a vague kind of description of the rest, but you'll be able to fill in all the blanks. So essentially number 16, H.H. Holmes, he literally built a murder castle. So check this shit out.
Why do I know that name?
This is the first time I've ever heard of him, but this is interesting. The book, The Devil in the White City, is about him. Also, there's apparently a series in works about it on Hulu. He confessed to 27 murders, though it could have been higher. Authorities say it may only have been 9. How this guy is rarely mentioned boggles my mind. He built just to be able to torture and kill. He literally made a murder castle where he kept everybody, where he did everything he wanted, and he had full reign to do whatever he wanted.
See, to me, I don't mean to say like one serial killer is like better than the other, but that right there is a bona fide piece of fucking shit.
Yeah. He has full control.
He is one of those, again, I'm not trying to justify one or the over the other, but somebody like that built something, a fucking castle.
Laid down bricks, laid down mortar.
Yeah,
all that.
Had a fucking crew come in and go build me this.
Either that or built it himself.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
No questions asked. And then did this shit. That's the type of person I want to get my hands on. Mm-hmm. And days worth of just slow. I know that I almost am like going back to like their, stooping to their level. But like, that's the thing is that like they deserve that.
Yeah.
Missy that was at his house, like, didn't, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. that's what irritates me is that when sometimes people are like, you can't kill the killer. Well, you know what?
I mean, what else is going to stop them? I mean, that's why we have, the death penalty.
Right.
That's why I'm not going to get into a whole thing
right,
about
but
that.
that just, man, like that right there, that is, I feel way more disgusting than somebody like Dahmer for some reason. Like
Dahmer to me is just, I kind of look at Dahmer in the same way that I would not the Joker, but the way that Two-Face looked at the Joker with the movie The Dark Knight, was that they were like, the Joker had everything to do with it, and he just kind of looked at him and he's like, the Joker's a rabid dog. I want the one that fucking let him off the chain. Like, I mean, he didn't say fuck, but still, it's like it's like there's like Dahmer was just bad. Like there was just nothing. Right. Like it was just he was able to understand that what he was doing was wrong. Mm-hmm. But it was either he couldn't stop or didn't want to stop. But it was that idea of like he's still kind of like, from what I understand, like from the interviews and what I've understood about him, is that it was like there was kind of this battle in him, at least to some degree.
Yeah.
That he knew that what he was doing was wrong,
but he couldn't control it.
Right. Dahmer never built himself a murder castle. Like it's
exactly.
Like
this dude was choosing.
I'm not saying that Dahmer's a great person by any means.
That's what I was trying to get at too. Is I'm not justifying. I was just saying, like, dude, that's a pure evil piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
let's move on to a very quick one. Number 18. I did not know this, but Ted Bundy actually declined his last meal.
Oh yeah, I actually read not that long ago about last meal requests that were weird as fuck from like death row inmates. And I do remember hearing that or reading that.
What's actually here's another Bundy fact. Number 22. Ted Bundy was actively involved in politics, and there was talk that he may one day could have become the governor of Washington.
Yeah.
Also, he confessed to his lawyer that he killed over 100 people, far more than the 30 or so that he was charged with.
Yeah. How funny is that? Another fucking mass murder in the government. Who would have thought?
Man.
Fucking child murderers, all of them.
For real.
I ain't even joking about that shit. Fight me over that and debate me. That shit's real.
Yep. See, I'm right there with you. But the cool thing is, too, is that if there's something to worry about, then there's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about. So we'll digress.
Number 28. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Of course it is. That's why I said there's like 6 famous fucking.
Jeffrey Dahmer tried to make sex zombies out of some of his victims by drilling holes into their heads while they were alive and pouring acid into the holes. There's more. Hold on.
Dude.
The twistedness and desperation of such an act is fascinating and truly goes to show how disturbed he was. It makes you wonder, too, what would have happened if he was successful? Like, would he have stopped killing, or would he just amass a growing harem of sex slaves?
That's it. No, I remember not seeing like real footage, but like the one, like when they documented it and reading about that multiple times. And I was like, what the fuck? And now obviously nobody was really there, but like the one scene I saw was when he did that, like the dude was just like sitting there like, and he's drilling into his head and he's like, you're going to feel some pressure, like just talking to him. And then he's just pouring this shit and the dude's just going, like, he's not dead. Like that's like a weird, could you imagine somebody dumping acid on your bare brain?
Screw that. No.
Fucking twisted fuck.
Number 34, we have
What zombie's gonna suck your dick? Seriously, I'm gonna put acid in somebody's brain and then go, let me put my wiener in your mouth. They're gonna clench down, motherfucker.
Isn't it what's his name said in Shawshank, is that whenever if you were to do something to break the like barrier in their like at least their ear canal, that it latches their jaw with like 400 pounds of like pressure, and they have to pry it open with a crowbar. Yeah. No, it's like, let's think about this for a minute. Let's be smart, okay? How about number one, smartest thing is don't fucking do it at all. But secondly, if you are going to do it, let's think practically, okay? So
you're hard, you're going to bleed right out.
Let's see here. Number 34, we have our first female. Number 34, Mary Bell. She killed her first victim around age 10 and the second a few months later. She left notes about the killing and visited the mothers of the boys that she killed, asking if she could see the body or if they were sad that their sons were dead.
This bitch was 10?
She was released at the age of 23 after only 12 years later, and her... 12 years... somebody's grammar was off on this. Sorry. She was released at age 23 after only 12 years, and her daughter, and her grandchild have all been granted anonymity for the rest of their lives.
Okay.
So, wow, that's crazy. 10 years old.
The bitch was savage.
That's man.
All right, let's do like 5 more.
Okay. I'm just going to start reading this one. Number 36. I have no idea what to expect.
Okay.
Edmund Kemper, also known as the Code Killer, Coed Killer, committed a series of murders and rapes in California before finally killing his abusive mother, at which point he drove to Arizona, called the police, confessed to everything, and waited for them to pick him up at the payphone. He provided intimate details of the case before he could get representation, so there was no way to get out of being found guilty for his crimes.
The fuck is wrong? Whatever, dude.
In court, a lawyer asked him what he felt holy crap. Sorry, I can't read tonight. In court, a lawyer asked him what he felt was a just punishment for what he had done. He thought about it and replied, death by torture. To this day, he declines to attend parole hearings and has repeatedly asserted that
He's
people
still alive?
To this day, he declines to attend parole hearings and has reportedly asserted that people like him do not belong in society. That's a guy that went far and realized what he did and
never go full retard.
Now, let's be clear about something. That word retard, okay?
It's from a movie, guys. If you're going to get that butthurt this far into this fucking show.
Here's what I will say. I completely agree with what Christopher Titus said. He has an inner retard, okay? And that inner retard is his brain whenever he makes a dumb decision. Yeah, right. He's like whenever he tried to slam his hand on the bricks and he did it and broke his hand. And that was incredible. You literally thought you could do it and you didn't.
Yeah.
You know, but what he said was that he's like, retard is not what I refer to when I refer to somebody that is mentally handicapped.
No.
He's like, if somebody with Downs, if somebody with cerebral palsy or anything like that, if somebody does anything to refer to that person as a retard, they will deal with me physically.
Right.
He's like, a retard is somebody that does something so fucking stupid, and they don't understand it. He's like, it is the complete wrong meaning of what we've done. Like, I love that about him. Like, it's dude, Christopher Titus is the man.
But that is literally, so that's what I was meaning was like,
right, yeah.
That dude went full retard. Like,
yeah, for real. Yeah.
What do you, wow. Like,
honestly,
I'm going to look this dude up.
Honestly, it's Edmund Kemper. Yeah. Honestly, what I would look at it as is that it's like, because I know what it's like to like, I can't lie. Like I can't do it. I hate it. I hate that I can't lie. But the thing is that I have been in situations before where I've done things and I have like, it has just come out of me because I can't keep it in anymore.
Yeah.
I think that probably the Edmund Kemper's last straw was probably killing his mom. Like that was him realizing that it's like he finally fought against the one thing that caused him to do all of it, and then it's like now it was gone. He wasn't angry anymore.
Right,
and
right.
It's like now
I'm good.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. That one's about Zodiac. That one's really long, so we're not going to do that one. Because I don't have that kind of stamp.
He was kind of an uninteresting one.
Fantastic David Fincher film though, the Zodiac. I think it's just called Zodiac, but
the Zodiac Killer.
Ooh, number 40. Many victims did not survive David Parker Ray, aka the Toybox Killer. Let's see here. Sorry, hold on. Many victims did not survive David Parker Ray, but did not remember it. Did I say that right? What the hell? Hold on. This is messing me up. Many victims did survive David Parker Ray, but he did not remember it. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
As he would kidnap victims, use them as sex slaves for a few months, drug them, and clean them thoroughly before dropping them off unconscious at the side of the road hundreds of miles away. Only some women picked up by him were killed. still more than enough to be classified as a serial killer.
Okay. So maybe their pussy was bad and then he killed them. Like, I'm serious.
I get what you're saying though. Yeah.
With you saying him cleaning them up.
Right.
I didn't mean that to be funny. Like that was a legit thing. Like it could be one of those where, like, again, we don't know his reasoning behind it, but he either killed the people that were dirty, like maybe they smelled or something, or they were just, which I don't know how you would clap, but I'm spitballing here, but like maybe they were terrible in bed. All of them are going to be terrible in bed, but maybe he had a thing. But that's weird that he would clean them up and then drop them off, but only killed enough of them to be classified as a serial killer. That's weird. And was it only women? Did it say?
I believe so. Yeah. It's because it only referenced one gender, and it was women that he.
That's so up. Crazy, man. Like that's a interesting like concept that he picked and chose which ones, and most of them did live.
Yeah. But they never knew who he was, what was happening. He always kept everything concealed.
Well, like clearly somebody figured it out.
Right.
You always get caught.
Oh my God. I just read number 49. I read number 49. It's a Dahmer one.
All right, let's do two more and then read that one. How about that?
Okay. The serial killer, Bella Kiss, liked to lick. Wait, what? Pickle. Sorry, that was folded. There we go. Okay. Okay, so the serial killer, Bella Kiss, liked to pickle people in barrels stored in his basement. Someone figured it out, but they couldn't get him because he was fighting in World War I. By the time they tracked him down, he had disappeared and left a dead guy in his hospital bed.
Whoa.
Holy shit. He supposedly joined the French Foreign Legion and deserted that too. And I think history loses track of him after that, with the exception of one possible sighting as a janitor in New York. The janitor disappeared before anyone could confirm it.
So he never got caught.
Never got caught. Dude, that's a guy that knew like how to get past it.
I don't mean this in this way, but good for him.
It's if you can avoid the federal government that long.
Also,
like,
in
dude,
World War I.
Well, yeah,
like
that's
right now, that probably just literally scanned my thumbprint anyways.
Well,
so
right.
There wasn't that kind of like technology. It was like, get the basset hound out. Like, you know.
Number 48. Pedro Alonso Lopez pleaded guilty to the murders of 100 plus girls and only received a maximum sentence of 16 years.
Get the fuck out of here.
That was the maximum possible sentence in Equator. He was released despite promising to continue killing, but disappeared shortly after. It's messed up. So it was just different laws in different country, man. You know, it's crazy. Okay. We'll go ahead and do 49 and 50. Both, which I mean, they're both our boys, Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein. So I guess we'll go ahead and just keep going. So,
fuck it.
All right.
Fuck it.
Number 49.
We'll end with the fucking clown.
Ed Gein, bro, not Gein. Not Jane Wayne, John Wayne Gacey.
Sorry, for some reason I thought you said Gacey.
No, Ed Gein.
Pepsi was delicious,
isn't it? Number 49. This is really fucked up. Jeffrey Dahmer gave people in his apartment building sandwiches that could have possibly been made from his victim's flesh.
It wasn't possible. They actually said he admitted to giving, like, I think it was certain people. Like, no, not certain people, but certain people in his building.
Yeah, that's...
So, yeah.
Now, I want you to think about that. Dahmer was probably a guy in the apartment building that people would like. I love the way that in Silent Hill 4: The Room, it described what it was like for the people that lived in the apartment complex that the main character, Henry, like his neighbors around him, had said they've never shared anything with him except for friendly, kind smiles. And it's like that idea of like people that you go by every day where it's like, hey, morning, Jeff, how's it going, brother? It's like, oh, good, man, about to go make some eggs and some bacon. I'm good. It's like, was he? Like, you know,
but
it's
that bacon was made of the fucking back of a fucking 40-year-old man.
It's like everything was fine, but it wasn't fine. It's just it's that idea of just like, you know, like the people that you have interacted with, the nice people you've seen. Like there's about 4 or 5 different acquaintances in my life that I've thought back on, and I'm like, I really didn't know them that well.
Me too.
You know, and it's like, so does that mean that they're a serial killer? No. Does it mean they're not one? No. It just means that we don't know. You know, and that's
pretty sure I knew one.
Ooh, we'll talk about that later. It'll be fun. I want a name and I want everything. So, but no, it's just the fact that it's like, you know, Dahmer was probably a guy that people were okay with being around, you know, and it's, you know, cause like you see everything from like, I don't know how real or true it is, but like the trailer for him, like how he was from what it seemed like to me, like the class clown. He was a guy that had a sense of humor. He was not afraid to make himself look stupid in the halls by waving his arms and everything. Like there's a picture of him making a ginormous, not snowman, but he made a ginormous weed bowl that he filled with grass as a joke to like in his front yard. Like it's like the guy had a sense of humor. Like right. It's like he was a regular dude.
That's what scares me about somebody like him.
That's what's terrifying about this is that it's
same
like
with Gacey.
Yeah, it's that's what I was gonna say about the Iceman earlier was that in interviews with him in prison, the interviewer like has said like, you know, like you're a really nice guy, and he's like, yeah, but I fucking hate you. He's like, I like you, and I don't like that I fucking like you. He's like, if I wasn't in cuffs right now, I'd kill you. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's that idea of just like the Iceman was a normal Joe from what it seemed like.
He knew how to control it.
Yeah.
So he would choose to go,
yeah,
nope, I'm going to let go on you. Oh, I like him, but I fucking hate that I like him, but I like him.
Yeah.
Type thing where I fucking hate that I like you, but I'm not going to kill you.
Right.
So that's almost like he does again criteria, like they have some kind of criteria, but he like it was almost one of those where when he didn't know it, he couldn't do it.
Right.
That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Man, that's fucked.
Number 50, kind of anticlimactic, but this is what's really interesting. I think that the fact that Ed Gein only killed 2 people is amazing because he is one of the most well-known serial killers. Everything he did was always after the fact. It was like he was a grave robber. That
was the thing is he dismembered the bodies with the chainsaw.
And it's
like you said, I do remember that being a thing was that Ed Gein didn't kill a bunch of people.
Right.
He was a grave robber.
It's after hearing everything that I have about the, you know, well-known and the not so well-known, you know, serial killers and, you know, the people that love to mutilate and everything to that effect. We've talked about it on the podcast before, and it's that idea of we've both have been through some pretty horrible shit. Mm-hmm. The people around us have been through some pretty horrible shit. There has never been a time in my life that I have ever given into a want to that would be really, really bad. And for anybody that would get like really put off by that, if you have never once in your like, I'm 28. Okay. Like I've had 28 years on this planet to be pissed off at people, to be wronged, to be desperate, to be overjoyed, to be overwhelmed. Everything. There have been like there was a 6 month time period in my life in particular that every time I drove, I had my hands on my steering wheel and pulled a Joe Rogan bit thing and just fuck, just pissed off. Just like, you know, like everyone has been there. Mm-hmm. I have never in my life looked at that as a decision or a reason to mutilate, kill, or take somebody else's life. That is like, and I get it. Like I have not been through what these serial killers have been through. I'm in no way trying to say that my life is equated by any means.
Not all of them had bad childhoods. That's the thing.
Right. It's mind blowing to me. Like, it's kind of like, I look at it the same way like Troy Baker looked at people when they wanted to spoil The Last of Us. It's like, I don't get you. This could be your last moment on this planet, and you're going to spend it fucking with somebody. Like, that's so messed up.
When you take time out of your day to personally inconvenience somebody else constantly.
Yeah. Take the killing aspect out of it. Like, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I have gone out of my way to inconvenience and piss somebody off.
Right.
Every once in a while.
Uh-huh.
When I am really mad.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all tying together is I'm not going to fucking kill him.
No.
I might plot against you for a few days, gather my ammo for a while, and then just sit back, load my guns, and then just start firing.
Right.
That's a difference in I'm going to murder you verbally.
With my words. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's been some times in my life when I was like, oh, God, if I had a knife in my hand.
See, and what's funny too is that,
but you still don't.
Well, no,
you still don't.
Like, I mean, I've referenced a lot of things, but like, think about this: is that in the and I'm talking the original film, 12 Angry Men, when they are arguing and they're saying the idea of like, dude, they heard the guy yell he was gonna kill him. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. Like he heard that, like whatever the upstairs neighbor heard him.
Still on.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're fine. Everything's good.
Fucking hate technology.
We did an episode about that, which you should check.
That I'm not on.
Yeah, because technology messed it up.
My $1,000 phone. Sorry, I just screamed in that microphone. But
it actually handled it really well, from what I can tell. So things are great.
$1,000 phone didn't record shit. Anyways,
you threw me off. I don't
murder my phone now.
Where was I going with that? What was I saying? You freaked out and it kind of
murderers. Something about murderers.
I was talking about. Dude, I'm completely blanked right now. But that threw me off because I was like, "Well, I'm like, is that going to peak the mic?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" So, but no, it worked out great. But
I don't fucking know.
Look, you know what? It's been an hour, 22 minutes, 47 seconds, and it's still climbing. And if this was really important, it would come back to me. But I completely forgot where I was going with that. So yeah.
So then I guess we should just end it on. I guess the verdict is serial killers are bad.
Yeah. Any form of hurt towards another human being is not good. Right. Don't do that. And especially if you're going to like
don't do that.
No. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, this is like the moment of that. It's like, if you're going to look at eternity being a real thing, or if you're going to look at even just the idea that there's nothing after death, you are literally propelling somebody towards one of those things without their consent. And that to me is so messed up. Now, what I will say is this, is that if somebody talks about like, somebody being in war, or if somebody's talking about like somebody that fights for their country or whatever, I'm not trying to be a dick, but in the same hand, it's like they're going into that knowing that that is a possibility.
Correct.
When you are somebody that wants to kill somebody just because you have a mental issue or because there is something wrong with you, you are ending that person's life. That is so messed up. That is, dude, you're
both not fighting for stupid fucking reasons.
I mean, I'm not going to get into that shit, but what I'm saying,
gotcha.
No, here's the thing is that, no, my political stance is very much the fact that there is very much the lack of, because I'm not well informed. I don't understand it. But in the same hand too, is that I know for a fact that there are people that want to hurt, argue, and just destroy over political, things. I ain't going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Not either.
That's like what they always say. There's three things in public that you can't discuss. You know what they are?
Religion, politics, and gender. Probably now.
Oh no, I don't give a shit about that because I love everybody.
Religion, politics, and
the Great Pumpkin. The three most controversial things you can talk about in public. Linus told us in the Great Pumpkin special, there are three things you can't discuss in public: religion, politics, and the Great Pumpkin. So,
well, with that being said,
yeah, this has been a fun one. Serial killers are fun to read about and interesting to talk about and to get down to the nitty gritty. But at the end of the day, don't do it.
Don't do it.
If you're feeling like you want to go over the edge a little bit, just have a beer and relax. And if alcohol's not your thing, then maybe lift some weights. And if that's not your thing, then maybe you should meditate. And if that's not your thing,
just go to
binge
fucking
watch.
bed.
Have you ever been so poor that you go to bed for dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Done that.
I've not always had this.
Oh, man, that big grumble really filled me up. Like,
it's like I'm going to go to bed and hopefully maybe see if I can get 5 grumbles in before I pass out. Tonight it's a 6. Fuck, and then just or something like. I didn't know if anybody else thought like that. I've done that before, yeah. So Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Gacey, and Edmund, and everybody that we write about. It's just not good. Don't do it. Just don't do it, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Read a book. Just
read a book.
Get a job.
Watch a documentary. Do something fucking good for your life.
Why can't you just watch documentaries about serial killers like everybody else? Like, come on. Like, it's that.
I go to sleep to Dexter. We've talked about that.
Yeah. It's once again, it's like I have played violent video games. I literally just played The Last of Us Part 2 all the way through.
Playing the Predator.
Yeah, like I've mutilated people in horrible ways in video games. Never once.
Have you ripped my spine out?
No, never. No. We've been pissed at each other before, and I've never resorted to physical violence or removing body parts
once, but
I mean, I was young and asked you to do it, so
clearly you're scarred by it.
I'm perfectly fine now. he pushed me down a flight of steps, and now I'm always smiling. So, but my God, that was horrible. Okay, well, this has been fantastic. So if you guys, once again, if you're not following us on YouTube, and if you haven't hit that notification bell, make sure you hit the subscribe and do so. If you're not following us on Spotify, the links are in the description below. You can go ahead and find us there. And if you want to support the show, and if you enjoy what you see here and want to hear our antics and how how we talk about things, which is probably not normal, but I love every aspect of it. But that's what makes us us. And if you like that, if you want to support what we're doing, you can go ahead and do so with one of the tiers that we have on Patreon, which is $1 or $5. And if you want to support us with whatever kind of form of amount that you want to do is on Anchor as well. You can also do that there. But once again, those are not a necessity. That is only for people that want to support what we're doing. If not, if you're just checking stuff out, as they used to say, the church I used to go to, if you're just checking stuff out, man, don't feel obligated, man. Just enjoy what you're watching. So
absolutely.
But nevertheless, so you guys enjoy yourselves. We're going to go and jump off here, and we're going to probably watch some YouTube videos and hit the hay. So
fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. It's going to be awesome. So more Pepsi. Things will be fun.
Pepsi. Pizzagate's real.
Stay tuned. We'll talk about that eventually later.